Game on.
Hey there, game gurus. Welcome back to the channel. Things kind of come in waves. First, we had the big wave of 1/4 scale arcade machines, and YouTubers are blowing up with those type of machines and videos. I was one of them, so I can't really point fingers. I was doing the exact same thing. But now it looks like everyone's moved away from arcade one, of which happy you did. But now they're all kind of moved to visual or virtual pinball machines. The AtGames Legends has theirs. They have a couple. They have the ultimate one. They have the regular one. They got a mini one. People are buying $6,000 machines. Like Cool Toy and Michael B. the Game Genius buying full-size, really expensive Stern pinball machines. And that's just crazy to me. Space is an issue. As you can see, my basement still isn't fixed. But I'm all about 1/6 scale. So back in 2019, a friend of mine, Duane Ringo, had made a mini pinball machine. I reached out to him, and he gave me the shell and the parts, and I built one off of his design, and it was really good. The problem was 6 years ago, PC performance really wasn't quite there for pinball. It's surprising that a pinball player or pinball machine requires a very powerful PC, definitely a good graphics card, high end, to really make it shine. You need like 4K and 60 frames a second, all this crazy stuff. Now, I do like pinball. I don't need to go that crazy on it, but I do want to sit down and play some pinball. So I had Dwayne's machine, and there were certain pinball machines like Tron I enjoyed playing. But fast forward 5 or 6 years, and Scott Slone, he's also been in the community for quite a bit. And he started off. I remember seeing him making little like 1/6 scale arcade machines like pole position and things like that. Very, very well done. And I want to take note of stuff like that. And he also made pinball machines. And I thought maybe I should revisit that because everyone else seems to be doing that as well. So today I'm going to be taking a look at my original pinball from Duane Ringo, and now what Scott Slone has done now. So let's take a look at some 1/6 scale pinball machines, how it's changed, and what's it going to be like in the future. Let's get started. Okay, the first machine I want to talk about here is this pinball machine. Now, this was designed and built by Duane Ringo. He has a Facebook group called MAME Arcade and More, and he builds a lot of small arcade machines. He built a tiny 1/6 scale Star Wars machine, but he built this for me, at least a shell, back in 2019. I think it might have been 2018, but this was made for me back in 2018. It was just the shell. He made all the parts and the wires. I had to source my own computer and screens, and in this particular one, it's running a 7-inch HDMI screen as the main screen right here, and it's got a 5-inch screen back here. And you can see we have a left and right flipper on here, but also a left and right nudge button. So obviously this is your flippers, but you can press these. It's like you're hitting the table to try and knock the ball over. If you do it too much, it'll still tilt the machine. We have our credit and launch the ball, or not launch the ball, but get the credit over here. But the plunger actually works. He did a nice job. You can see right here when you pull it out, the plunger works. And the screen is very sharp. Now, this machine is running what's called a Latte Panda. That was the machine that he had used, so I put it in right here. Now, the Latte Panda back in 2019 was an IBM-compatible x86 board, and it wasn't super powerful, but it's just barely powerful enough to run some of these tables. So these tables are being, in Visual Pinball, you could set high NPC, low NPC. This is set very low NPC, but when I show you some gameplay, it does work, and it plays Tron and some tables very well. Other tables are just beyond its ability to play. There's just none of it's so much laggy. It's just the frame rate is just horrible. But this particular one and some other tables run very well. And it also has real aluminum legs on here. And we'll go to the back just for a second, show you some stuff that's back here. We can see our volume control. This is my on-off soft reset button. Originally, power was going in here, micro USB, but it kept breaking off, so I have the power just coming into the bottom. Then I have two buttons back here for I think one is for escaping the table, and I don't even remember what the other one's used for. It's been a while since I've taken this thing out. And you can see originally the artwork I put on here was Tron Legacy. Even though I did want the original Tron, I could always change the artwork. When I had done this was 5 years ago. I mean, I was just really experimenting at the time. But this table is very, very fun, and I'm going to show some gameplay of that coming up next. But again, this is 5-year-old plus technology. So The fact that this ran at all was pretty amazing. You know, it's surprising to see that pinball machines require really powerful hardware. But again, this is a 1/6 scale pinball. It's just to sit on your desk and play once in a while and play a bunch of different tables. And let's just show you how this particular one plays. I do like this particular game. It's very fun. So let me get some gameplay going. Okay, one of the things I'm going to do is turn the volume up a little bit so you can hear the sounds. Hopefully we don't get a copyright strike. It's got good volume on it. And I'm going to put a credit in.
I hope you make it.
A second credit. You see my flippers work?
I'm getting out of here right now and you guys are invited.
Prepare for digital speed fast. Activate next door.
Are we there yet, Mommy? I should never have written all those tank programs.
Finish the game! Blue Leader. Copy, Blue Leader. This is Gold 1 to Gold 2 and 3.
The very fancy shot! I hate to disappoint you, pal, but most of the time that's the way it is for users, too.
Let's take a look and see what this looks like without the lights, just the displays.
This is Blue Leader to Blue Bikes. Run these guys in the air jet.
Very fancy shot!
Copy, Blue Leader.
Pursuit force reporting. Everything you've done has been according to...
Move out! This way!
So again, for back in 2019, this was pretty darn good. And actually, I could always upgrade the board in here to make it better. There's actually much faster computers you could put inside here now, but that's not the point. I want to keep this the way it was, playing the way it was, because that's the era it was from. And I really still have to thank Duane Ringo once again for this amazing work. Now, this is actually wood. It's wood he just painted and painted and painted till it looks almost like it's a plastic, but it's really all wood inside here. And but that's back from 2019. Let's take a look at something a little more modern. Okay, so let's look at a pinball machine that was designed in, well, 2023, 2024, so a number of years after the Duane Ringo one. That was made out of wood. Now, this one is from Scott Slone. Scott is known pretty well throughout the groups. He designs 1/6 scale machines, does beautiful work, and pinball machines. But now the difference is this is not wood. This is 3D printed. So that's right. So he can do a wonderful, intricate job and recreate it. So some of it's very similar. Still using a 7-inch screen, just a newer generation, obviously, of the screen they have in the other pinball, and a 5-inch back glass, very similar, but obviously a newer generation of that as well. And let's just take a look and see some of the things he did here on his machine. Now, I always liked the Haunted Mansion, Space Invaders, pinball machines, the Black Hole, and I asked him if he could do me a Haunted Mansion version. That's what he did right here. And did a really beautiful job with this artwork. Now, These legs, unlike on Duane's, which are aluminum, these are actually 3D printed as well. He's got little screws acting like adjusters on here with rubber feet on them. It's just really nice touches. We also have the flipper button and the nudge button. He also, if you go to the other side over here, see the same thing. We have these 3D printed legs with these little adjustable pieces with rubber feet on the bottom, our nudge, and our flipper button over here. Now on the front, he did such a beautiful job. Now, he'd never done a Gottlieb machine before. Mine was the first one. So he had to redesign a coin door. It is a light up coin door, as you can see right here. And he did a nice label on it as well. We also have a front nudge button, something I didn't put on the other machine, which I may end up doing at some point. We also have a button right here. This would be my putting in the coins. Coin, coin, coin. And this light up one here, I press this to actually say, you know, player one is there and launch your ball into the machine. Now, what he did right here, he also has a plunger here as well. You hear that clicky for that little button on there. And you can see he's got some lights down here. These LEDs, you can use your cell phone to change color and how they work. They get very bright. I turn the brightness down, but you'll see it better in the dark when I do it before. But you can change all these colors on here. You see even these screws. These screws are real screws holding on the real glass. Yes, that's right. This is actual glass. It is not acrylic. This is a glass screen that goes over the top of the 7-inch screen right here. Let's just go back to the second and take a look at what we have over here. So on the back, we have our main power buttons. This turns power on and off to, it's a PC. I'll put down below what PC I used, but it's a full Intel processor mini cube computer. And I just have escape from the main system, escape from the game, a USB port back over here, a very quiet fan, because this is running a PC and it gets quite warm, and that feels actually pretty good on my fingers, it's warm. But he did a nice job. Again, these are 3D printed, it's just spray painted. And the back over here, now even on the monitor, look, he designed a nice vent that you would have saw in the back of the pinball machine. The artwork, designed in the USA. All these buttons here are for the monitor. You don't really have to touch them. Over here, I'm going to flip it over just for a second, just so you can kind of see the bottom of this machine. You can see the LEDs on there. Speakers, there are 2 speakers and another vent hole. But these LEDs get quite bright, and you can make them different colors, which is kind of neat. Now, unlike my other one, it's not very powerful, so it's just really just running Pinball X directly. But on this one here, if I press the button here, I'm actually running a front end on the machine. So I can use my 2 buttons here to pick different games. I'm going to go over, let's go over here. So since it's running the Haunted Mansion here, let's pull up the Haunted Mansion. Black Hole, Haunted House. I keep going Haunted Mansion. It's Haunted House. So I'm going to select it right here.
Please wait. I am now loading up the game. Have fun.
So look at that, a 1/6 scale virtual pinball machine. And this really, from everything I've thrown at it, has played very well. It's actually set at the high settings, so you can actually adjust, you know, to like a mid-range or low-range PC to get higher frame rates. But again, I am not an ultimate pinball fiasco. I don't need to have 4,000 frames a second at 24,000K resolution. This is running 1080p resolution, and I think it plays pretty darn well with full graphics set on these pinball tables. So the screen is a little dark, and actually that's due to Virtual Pinball. There's a day-night mode. I haven't figured that out yet. There are ways to go into each one of these tables and brighten them up or darken them. Some are fine, but some of these other tables, they seem dark. That's not the screen. It's not a problem with this. It's just Virtual Pinball setup right now. I think it's in like night mode, so it turns everything down, makes it a little bit darker. But let's just get a close look right here. Here's another thing I need to fix. So the scores are actually here and here. These shouldn't be here, but I haven't figured out how to get them off just yet, but I'm sure I will. But you can see the resolution. It looks like a nice active backglass there. And I'm going to scroll down here, and I love the 3 play fields that are on here. And the resolution for this size of a screen is fantastic. And I was just blown away on the attention to detail he did here. I'm going to get some really good shots so you guys can see it. This is a 3D printed 1/6 scale pinball machine. It runs Future Pinball. It runs Pinball X. It runs. We'll go back to the menu. I'll show you there's a whole bunch of things you can run off of this. Even MAME, like vertical shooters and stuff like that. But let's get some gameplay going. And I just want you guys to see how it actually plays. But this thing right here is actually phenomenal. Duane's is as well. Just as things get newer, more technology comes out and things get a little bit better. And I'm really blown away by Scott's attention to detail he did here. And let's get into some gameplay. Okay, Haunted House was definitely a game I grew up with as a kid. I remember playing it so many times. And I'm just so ecstatic to have a working table here. Now, again, the table itself is a little bit dark. That's adjustable in the Visual Pinball application somewhere. I haven't found out exactly where that is, but I have seen it in the past where I was able to take tables and brighten them up. So it's a little dark, I get it, but that's not because of this. It's really due to how the pinball is set up on the machine. So I'm gonna put a credit in right here. And then say I'm ready to start playing the game here. It ejects my ball up, and it's a working plunger. There we go. Ah. So I think the ball and the reaction time of the flippers are fantastic. Ah! Oh! Pinball can be frustrating. No! So it's about how my real pinball skills went. Let's take a look at this particular table with the lights off and see the differences. Okay, let's put a credit in. Oh. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to hit the nudge button. You can see it shook the table, shook the table, shook the table. So you can nudge, just not used to it yet. Let's take a look at a couple of other tables that we can play. Okay, when I'm ready to exit this game, I press a little button on the back. It takes me back to the main menu, and I can use my flippers to pick a different game. Let's find what we want to do here. Well, of course, you have this classic, which does play very well. But I'm going to go back to the main menu for a second here. You can see we have Pinball X, Favorites, the Leprechaun King, Arcade Jukebox, Future Pinball, just added. Of course, you have MAME, you have vertical games you might want to play on here. Playlists, FX3, you can load on here as well. Of course, your Pinball X. I'm going to go now to Future Pinball and pick a table from here. Of course, you have the Addams Family. You know, that's one that's been played quite a bit. Again, this table does come up a little bit on the dark side. I have to adjust it. I got to find out where that is. So don't take away from this on the brightness of the table. And again, as this loads up, this is running with all the, I guess, performance mode visual pinball going. There's probably even more settings you can adjust. But there are like settings for low PC, medium PC, or high PC. This is set to the high PC mode. If you wanted to get a higher frame rates, which I still think are more than adequate right now, you can set it to the medium or the low setting. So you can see how bright the screen is here. This is dark because of not of the screen, but because of the way or actually Future Pinball in this case, is set up. It's set up to like a night mode. I need it to be set up to a day mode. But you can still see it right here pretty good. I'm going to turn the lights off again just so you can see it a little bit better.
Crispy and they're cookie, mysterious and spooky. They're all together, ookie. The Addams Family. The house is a museum. One thing, will you do the honors?
Here we go. Let's put a coin in.
Next quote.
We got our credits.
Let's go. Showtime!
We got our plunger. Ah.
Not good enough. Let's go. Go next. Little man, you were so right. I like it.
Yeah. I like that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You're back.
Oh.
Not good enough. Let's go. Slow down. Not good enough. Let's go.
Let's take a look at another table. I'm going to hit the button back here to escape out. There's one table I have to do. We do have, put up real quick, I'll show you this one as well, Attack from Mars. I know a lot of people like that
I
table.
am now loading up the game.
And again, these LEDs down here look great, and you can change the colors. You can make them do all kinds of different effects, which is kind of nice. And you control it all from your cell phone. Here is Attack from Mars.
This is an emergency broadcast. The Earth is being invaded by flying saucers from Mars. We must build an atomic blaster.
Again, I think the frame rate in the ball is more than adequate for playing nicely.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Hey, something bridge is falling down, isn't it?
Ah, let's take a look at another table. I'll hit the reset button back in here. Take me back to the main menu. I just got to show this table just because I love this table.
Please wait. I am now loading up the game. Have fun.
Not every table is going to be a recreation of a real table. Some of these are just ones people made. And I'm a big Battlestar Galactica fan. That theme music is the best.
Launch fighters.
Oh,
Permission to leave the fleet. Launch fighters.
just because I like the movie and the game doesn't mean I'm good at it. I think that's it. Oh, here we go. Woo.
Launch fighters.
And when you don't have space for a large collection, these 1/6 scale units are phenomenal. Okay, let's take a look at the table I really want to show. I keep saying that, but I don't go to it. Oh, okay. Gotta show you this one as well, of course. Black Knight 2000.
Please wait. I am now loading up the game. Have fun.
Just such an amazing table.
No way.
Okay, I tilted it. Let's go try another game. Here's the one I want to show you. Got to do some Flash Gordon.
Please wait. I am now loading up the game. Have fun.
Flash Gordon.
Gotta do some Flash Gordon.
You've shown us the way.
Ah.
You've shown us the way. First step forward.
Again.
you. Come on. Welcome to Jurassic. We'll drive kids out there. Decepticons, advance! What am I supposed to do?
Survive.
Now these units, they are 3D printed, but they're still pretty much hand built by Scott. Now if you're interested in this, I have his email address down in the description. They go for around $850 for the base units. That's the screens, the computer, basic cabinet design. He's open to suggestions if you want to make something specific for yourself, but figure around $850 to start with your own 1/6 scale miniature pinball. And I gotta say, the thing is quite impressive as far as how it plays and just the quality of it. I really am impressed, and I'm not super easy to impress. I'm very big on quality. If you're interested in one of Scott Slone's pinball machines, he also makes arcades, so you can reach out to him. He's got a lot of different things he has available. I'll put his email address down below in the description. All right, so that's it. It was kind of a long video, kind of, but I want you guys to see what Scott's doing. This pinball machine is really, really nice. Now, if you want to get one for yourself, I'm going to put a link down below. His email will be down there. They are expensive, I'm not going to lie. They're about $850 for them. But I got to tell you, if you get one in your hands and play it, they are pretty phenomenal. So if you look at anyone who does these custom machines, you're going to be talking around that price range. My friend from Old Made New turns little Coleco arcade machines like Pac-Man, the small ones, handheld machines used to get back in the 80s. That's going to cost you $500, $600, $700 depending on what you want. So he's right in that right ballpark for what it is. It's very customizable, but I'm telling you something, if you get one of these, you're quite blown away. Which kind of segues me into my next part of the video. I did talk to Scott about this before I was going to make this announcement. I really do like the machine, but I'm all about getting the price down so more people can play these things, build up the community, and so forth. So I'm going to put a proposal out there. If this video can get 10,000 views, and also, I wouldn't mind some subscribers, so please subscribe if you want more information. If I get 10,000 views on this, I'm going to go back to my team and see if we could do a Build-A-Pin. That's right, we have the Build-A-Cade. We've been talking about Build-A-Pin for a number of years, and we really weren't sure if the technology was there yet, but I think right now there's some things I've been talking to some people behind the scenes. I think this may be the time for a Build-A-Pin. So again, if I get 10,000 views on this video, I'm going to go with the assumption that people will be interested in this and we can move forward. Put a comment down below. So do a view and put a comment. So 10,000 comments, 10,000 views. So I can go back to my team and say, yeah, A 1/6 scale visual pinball machine is something people want. And I'm going to be doing some things in there I think that would be new. Like I would like to have perhaps an analog versus a digital plunger. So the amount you pull the plunger out would correlate to what the plunger actually does versus just pulling back and wait for it to go. Also, maybe an accelerometer in there. So you don't have to actually press buttons on the sides. You can actually hit the machine or tap the machine and get the machine to move. Still going with a 7-inch playfield or thereabouts and a 5-inch screen thereabouts. I'm not sure we'll do a battery in there, but what do you guys think? Put some comments down below. I want 10,000 views and 10,000 comments of really what you guys would like to see, or just put I'm interested, or yes, good idea, or something along those lines. And as far as price point, if you guys know me, I'm all about the arcade quality.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
So I want this thing to be a quality pinball machine, comparable to what Scott's doing, and he's doing a phenomenal job here. But something at a price point that you guys know me for. Something making it affordable for you guys to, make a hit. Obviously, I've been doing the Build-A-Cade for some time, and you can customize them all different ways. I want to do the same thing in the Virtual Pinball market with a 1/6 scale. So you let me know. Let's see if we get this video to go viral. 10,000 views, 10,000 comments. I can go back to my team and say, you know what? Visual Pinball is where we want to go next. So I need your help to do that. So again, this is all fun and stuff, and I take my hat off to both Duane and to Scott. You guys did phenomenal jobs here, and I take my hat off to you guys. And I'm just hoping we can move this to the next level for more people to enjoy visual pinball at home. But with that being said, no matter what you do, no matter how you play your games, whether you're pinball machines, whether you're doing full size or real, if you got the money for those, that's fine. But always take a moment to reach out to family and friends. That's the best thing about these games. Play some games with your friends, but also tell them, hey, listen, I appreciate you. I love you. Tomorrow is never promised. Your relationships are never promised. Things can change in an instant. But in between those times, game on.
Are you looking for that arcade experience at home? If you don't have the space for a full-size arcade in your house or endless funds, then you need the GRS Build-A-Cade. It's arcade quality without the arcade price, from someone you can trust. The GRS Build-A-Cade is a very simple, easy to assemble 1/6 scale arcade computer you can build yourself. You can buy interchangeable controllers for every gaming option you need to play the games the way they're meant to be played. You can also design your own artwork or purchase artwork separately to make your GRS Build-A-Cade look like the machine of your dreams. The GRS Build-A-Cade is also the only home system STEM certified. Come see what all the YouTube creators are raving about. GRS Build-A-Cade.
Game on. Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.